So yesterday I was working on a video about this stuff here, some head gasket sealer, and en route to preparing the vehicle for that, I was taking out the spark plugs because they suggest you take out the spark plugs and to see if one spark plug has liquid on it, and you want to leave that spark plug out while the sealer is in the system circulating and hopefully sealing off your head gasket leak. And this is what happened to one of the plugs. Came apart. So this video is really going to be about how to get that extracted. It's left in the engine. I'll zoom in on it real quick and show you. So I went and I did some research. Apparently, the old Easy Out, bought this set just now from AutoZone. Looks like it has one big enough that'll go in there, hopefully, and pull that out. But apparently, the Easy Out technique is the technique to use. So that's what we're going to try here, and I will do that live. You can see how it's. I'll do that right now. You'll see how it's going to work. Let me show you real quick what I'm up against here. So hopefully you'll be able to see that little hole right there. I don't know if you can make it out or not. I think so. Anyways, yeah, the other two came out relatively easy. The one on the right and the left, and I got three in the back still to do. This is a 6-cylinder 3.3 Dodge engine out of a Caravan. I don't have a T-handle for this, so I'm just going to use a 3/8 extension and a crescent here. I got tapped in there, and it's biting. So I'm going to crank this puppy and hopefully break it loose. See what happens here. It's in there. It's got a good bite. I'm going to let that soak a little bit, and we'll give it another shot. I think I might have showed this yesterday. This stuff's great. Make sure you can see it. Excellent for freezing, for removing frozen bolts, nuts and stuff. Okay, so we're going to let it sit a little bit. Let it soak in a little bit, and we'll come back. So, still soaking it. What I did is I cleaned all the rust from around the spark plug well. Actually, it was a little deeper than I thought. Probably like maybe a quarter inch deep. And then sprayed it again, and it's in there soaking pretty good. Now I'm going to heat it up a little bit again before I try to turn it one more time. So I'm going to give it probably a good 10-15 minutes of soak time here, and then we'll be back. So it's been probably a good half hour while I was waiting for it to soak really well. I did the back 3 plugs. They came out relatively easy. In fact, almost too easy to my taste. They weren't tightened down very well, but probably good enough. But they came out pretty simple compared to the front 3, which I'm guessing has to do with just they get more corroded, more water, whatever in there. So anyway, we're going to heat this thing up a little bit more. One more shot here. Just warmed up a little bit. Let that cool, or let that oil creep down in there. So give it a shot. See what we get. Boy, oh boy, it's in there good. That's for sure. Here you go. This is awesome. So this is really good news. If you look in there, you'll see the extraction tool just broke. So yeah, it's wonderful. Might have been the torque I had on there. So wow. Guess we'll be heading back to AutoZone once I figure out we can get that sucker out of there. Alright, I'll be back. So here we are. You can probably see that broken. Here you go. Zoom it in there. I'm gonna try to get that out. So what I had to do, gotta love this. I had to remove the exhaust manifold. Just try to get something on that to get it out of there. No exhaust manifold gaskets. Very interesting. Everything was nice and loose, came apart real easy. So anyway, I'm going to try to wrench that thing out of there, and then hopefully it won't be too hard to get out of there now that I have room to move. Some channel locks or something on it, hopefully. And I might even have to grind the flat spot down and put a wrench on it. I have no idea. And then hopefully take it back up to AutoZone, get another one. Definitely in a better position now to be able to get the sucker out of there. Turn it into a little bit of a job today. So anyway, I'll be back. So, a little bit of good news today anyway. I got this sucker out of here. What I did, at least it's still hot. What I did, you can probably see it now, but is by getting the exhaust manifold out of there, I was able to grind a flat spot on it, and then able to get some vice grips on there and get that puppy out of there. Hopefully, with this thing being exposed like it is, I'll be able to get better leverage on that to get to extract that out of there. Now that I know what size I need, I'm going to return this set. I assume I'll get a refund for it. It broke. Buy a couple exhaust manifold gaskets, a set of exhaust manifold gaskets, and attempt this again. I mean, that's really what I have to do. I have no options here. We're back at it. I got back from AutoZone. Just got back from AutoZone. I took the other set back. I took it back, no problem. Got this one instead. That's actually cheaper. It doesn't come with the drill bits. I don't know if it's better. I guess we'll find out. OEM tools for professionals, so we shall see. Reposition the camera and get going and see if we can get this done. All right. Well, it appears to be in there pretty dang tight. So, just talked to a friend of mine who works on vehicles as well. My concern was heating this head up with a torch, and we are of the opinion that you can get this thing cherry red. So, with that said, I'm going to heat this puppy up a little bit, and a lot more than I've done. See if we can break this thing loose. That's what we're going to do. So we're going to give it a shot right there. It gets a bite pretty easily. So, after a lot of heating, a lot of spraying, I wasn't sure if it felt like it was just still tight. It felt like it wasn't moving. I don't know if I was going to break the easy out or not, but something was given, but very slowly. So I pulled a little nick with a screwdriver in the actual spark plug housing, and looks like I am making some progress. So I wanted to give you a little demonstration of how slow the progress is. It's in there good, but it's moving. That's it. It's not really a good angle to get any kind of pressure on it, but I don't know if I need to heat it up again or not, but it appears to be coming loose here, so every now and then I spray it again. One thing I did do, I did show, was I did a little tapping with a hammer on it. Let that help. I heated it pretty good a couple times. So it appears it's coming out, but I am not prepared to just start wrenching on it. I'm guessing the threads that were sticking through the head are pretty messed up. And the reason I'm in here doing this at all, and you'll see in another video I have, is I'm working on a blown head gasket problem, getting ready to add some sealer. And one of the symptoms of a blown head gasket are, water in the cylinder. And I suspect, since I did all the other plugs, this is the offending one. I'm really curious to see what this is going to look like when it comes out of here. Eventually comes out of here. Yeah, it's definitely coming out now. So I don't think I need any more heat, but I got it pretty hot to get to this point. Like I said, I don't have a T-handle or any kind of handle for these easy outs that you're supposed to use. To be honest, I don't think I could get it in there anyway. Crescent wrench seems to work well. Obviously, you're always worried about pulling it off center, but this easy out is in there all the way to the hilt. So I didn't think that was going to be an issue. Yeah, we're starting to get there now. And these plugs have about 1.5 inches of thread on them, so I don't know at any point it will get finger tight, but it's definitely on its way out. I'm very pleased with that. Now we can move on to the actual project I was working on here. And this is basically just a video of how to get a broken spark plug out. And you've seen the trials and tribulations I've gone through there. So one thing I would recommend, if you have to go down this road, is to get a really good easy out. First one I got was definitely much softer metal than this one, and so do yourself a favor and get a good one. Now, downside is I have to put the exhaust manifold and all that back together to get on with the other project. And like I said earlier, there were no exhaust manifold gaskets installed on here, and they didn't have any at AutoZone, so I'm going to have to order some. In the meantime, I'm going to put it back together without, just like it was. So that's the offending spark plug. Basically did this number is what I was working on for the last few hours. I don't see any indication that this plug was any more damaged than the other ones that I took out of here. So from a water in or a blown head gasket perspective, I don't see really any indication of that in any one of the cylinders. So I'm going to get back to that video, but that is how you remove a spark plug that's broken off in the head. Hope that helps people, and there you have it.